They clamped my damn car in my own driveway. I'm standing there, still in my slippers, coffee steaming in one hand, just blinking at the bright yellow boot locked onto my rear tire like some kind of cartoon punishment. On the windshield, a citation from the HOA signed by none other than Veronica Sharp, their fearless president. Unauthorized parking, it read. On my land. That I own. That I pay taxes on. Honestly, I laughed at first, that dry, disbelieving kind of laugh you let out when the absurdity is just too much to compute. Now, before we go further, I should tell you who I am because it matters. I'm Samuel Whitmore. I spent 30 years as a judge, most of it handling property rights and real estate disputes. I know every sneaky HOA tactic in the book, every loophole they try to twist. I retired last year, thinking I'd finally left that mess behind, but this little slice of peace just outside an HOA zone, on purpose. I chose this property because it was next to their lines but not in their web. Independent deed, separate utilities, no community restrictions, no newsletters threatening me over the color of my mailbox. It was perfect. My big post-retirement project. A 69 Mustang Fastback I've been restoring from the ground up, piece by Gloria's greasy piece. That car's my pride and joy, and yeah, I park it in my driveway because it's mine and I can. Or at least I thought I could. So there I am that Tuesday morning, clamped, caffeinated, and confused. And in that moment, a part of me almost said screw it, pay the damn fine, avoid the drama, get back to enjoying life. But then the other part of me, the one that sat behind a bench for 3 decades watching little people get crushed under the weight of overreach and arrogance, that part said no. Hell no. If I don't stand up to this, who will? The neighbor down the street with 2 jobs and no legal background. The widowed veteran who just wants to be left alone. So I sat down on my porch steps, sipped my coffee, and called the number on the ticket. It rang twice before someone picked up, and boy, if tone of voice could wear a uniform, this one would have had jackboots. No hello, no, how can I help you? Just, if this is about the clamp, it's policy. You can appeal it at next month's meeting. That was Veronica. I kept my cool, said, I don't understand, this property isn't part of the HOA. Her response. We expanded our jurisdiction last year, sent out letters. If you didn't get one, that's on you. Ignorance doesn't invalidate the board's authority. That's the moment I knew. She had no clue who she was talking to. So I let her keep talking, let her dig. She rambled about how they now controlled the pool, the park, even the roads. Said with this weird pride, like she'd conquered the neighborhood. Then, and this was the twist, she got personal. Said, I lost my house once because I trusted a lawyer. Not making that mistake again. I don't let anyone slip through anymore. That's when it all clicked. This wasn't about rules or community standards. It was about control. Her own baggage, weaponized into a power trip. And she thought she could enforce it on someone like me. So I hung up, walked into my study, and spent the next few hours knee-deep in legal records, HOA charters, county property maps, notification laws. Every hunch I had confirmed. They never properly expanded their jurisdiction. No public filings, no unanimous consent from affected properties, not even a legally valid vote. Just a dictator in a pantsuit playing president. The next morning, I filed a restraining order barring the HOA from touching my property or any others outside their legal bounds. And just to keep it clean, I passed the case off to a fellow judge, someone I trusted to stay impartial. And just when I thought Veronica might back off, she doubled down. Around 9 a.m., some poor maintenance guy shows up again, clamps the front tire of my Mustang this time. I didn't even stop him. Just watched through the window, coffee in hand again. You'd think I'd be furious, but honestly, I was thrilled. She'd just violated the restraining order, more evidence, right there on camera. I documented every angle, timestamped it, added it to the file. Then came the cops. 3 days later, 2 sheriff's deputies pulled up to the HOA office across the street. I watched through binoculars, not proud of that, okay, a little proud. Veronica comes storming out, arms flailing like she's auditioning for a soap opera. Officers. That man's been harassing our board. But the deputy cut her off. Ma'am, we are here because of Mr. Whitmore. You're in violation of a court order. Watching her face twist through confusion, panic, then fury, I'm telling you, I've never enjoyed a moment more. And it just kept unraveling from there. Turns out, I wasn't the only one. Over the next few days, neighbor after neighbor came forward, fines for sidewalk chalk, for garden gnomes, for a disabled vet's medical van parked on his property. She'd been preying on anyone she thought wouldn't fight back. Then came the anonymous email. Mr. Whitmore, I work on the board. The fine money doesn't match the reports. Veronica's hiding something. That cracked it wide open. We dug deeper, my lawyer and I, and what we found was jaw-dropping. Veronica had created shell companies, fake vendors, bogus contracts. Over $40,000 had been funneled from residents into personal accounts, disguised as maintenance and security. It was embezzlement, plain and simple. But the cherry on top. Those community spaces she bragged about, the pool, the clubhouse, the park. They were never legally transferred to the HOA. Still listed under the original developer, who had just filed for bankruptcy. So guess who bought them at auction? That's right. I did. Through a holding company I created, Mountain View Holdings LLC. For less than the price of a used pickup, I now owned everything she thought gave her power. When Veronica found out, she stormed to my porch, red-faced and trembling. You've destroyed everything, she shouted. This was my life. And I told her, come as ever, you didn't lose this, Veronica. You took it and you got caught. The court ruling was the final nail. She was ordered to repay all fines, step down from the HOA permanently, and face a full criminal investigation. Within a week, the board collapsed. Half the members resigned. The HOA was broke, buried under legal fees and public shame. Now, I manage the pool. No fines. No IDs. Just neighbors enjoying each other. The parks got new swings. The clubhouse hosts potlucks instead of power plays. And me. I'm back to working on my Mustang. No more clamps. No more citations. Just peace. So here's my question to you: when someone abuses power under the guise of rules, when do we say enough's enough? Have you seen something like this happen in your neighborhood? Let me know down in the comments. Was I right to fight back the way I did? Or did I go too far? Because sometimes justice isn't just about right and wrong, it's about reminding people who the law is supposed to serve.